Welcome back in to the Sports Source, segment 9 of today's 10-segment show. In this one, it's brought to you by Games and Things, the kings of home theater seating. They have new models on display right now, new home theater seats right there on display in their showroom as we speak. Get out there tomorrow, get out there this week, check them out. Power recline, movable headrest, lumbar support, any and all the features you're looking for. Get to 10,706 Kingston Pike this week. See for yourself. I'm not making it up. Trust me. Games and Things. They own the world when it comes to home theater seating. They are the best. All right. Let me show you. This is what I talked about as we went to break. Mel Kiper put out his first round NFL draft projections this week. What I have done is I have taken all the guys that would have been on Tennessee's schedule this year and listed them there, okay, in order, like Tua. He projects him going to the Dolphins at the 5th pick, so he's off Alabama. You see Alabama, Georgia, South Carolina, etc. Looking at this list, Florida and South Carolina have each lost a first-round talent. Georgia has lost 2 guys who are first-round talents. Same for Oklahoma. Alabama, if this is correct, would lose 5 guys of first-round talent. Does this make you feel better about UT's chances versus any of these teams next year?
You know, Alabama loses the most, so you'd think that would be where you would think, yeah, okay, that's great. No, it doesn't matter with Alabama.
They'll still return the most.
That's kind of my thought, yeah.
They're still going to have them all back. No, that list right there does not really, because Georgia just reloads at running back, and Alabama just reloads
everywhere.
And
Florida's one player didn't even play in the game against Tennessee. Right. I would cheat a little bit and say Oklahoma also losing its quarterback, even though they lose their quarterback every year and they have a 5-star talent that could replace. It's still early. If you can be better along the line of scrimmage than Oklahoma, if you've got a shot there. So that's cheating with that answer. What I saw on the screen there, no.
Just based on that, I would say Alabama, and that was my first thought. I don't think it's a huge difference, but I think they will be a little more vulnerable this year. You're talking about them maybe starting a freshman quarterback in Bryce Young, a big-time prospect, but that's still a big drop-off from Tua potentially. So I think that's a big deal, and they're at least maybe beatable for somebody this year.
Yeah, I would say Georgia.
Yeah. About that.
I'm trying to be maybe Georgia, because those are 2 impact players. They still have a ton of talent. They're loaded with 4 and 5 stars. But if it's that coupled with, maybe some other issues behind their walls there, maybe you could see them slide back potentially a little bit. But in just those players alone, I just don't see it.
Well, I mean, here's the thing with Alabama. I think you're right. I mean, they lost the most first-round talent there, but you look at that program, and people are saying, "Well, the dynasty's over." Okay, so the best they're going to be now is Capital One Bowl or Citrus Bowl, as it's back to being called. That's still pretty good. That's still far above you at this moment. So I mean, I understand if people look at that, and that's why I put it up there. I didn't know when I started doing that how it was going to fold out, but 5 guys, okay, well maybe you got a shot, but you just keep going back. It's Alabama. They've lost 5-6 guys before in the first round. It hasn't made them glitch.
Usually if you see a team lose a running back, like Georgia's losing Swift, you go, okay, there's going to be a big loss. That guy.
But
Georgia's gone back. I mean, you go back to Herschel Walker. It seems like they've always got a great running back. So, does that hurt them?
I think where beyond that list where it can impact a team is when maybe you start getting into the second-day guys that they lose.
Yes.
Now you start to lose volume.
Certainly.
Georgia had multiple offensive linemen besides Andrew Thomas are leaving, plus Cade Mays transferring to Tennessee. So that's where you could see, yes, that first-round talent, but there's also other things that are attached with it that can.
And if he had done a 7-round projection, I would have done that. But he didn't. He just did the first round. So I thought, let's just have a little fun here with the first round talent. But you're right. And here's the other thing. When you're talking true first round talent from an NFL perspective, it's really the top 15. Once you get out of that top 15, you don't have that impact NFL guy. Typically, it's those first 15 are more sure than the rest.
Tennessee did put up a good fight against, with Ryan's point, Tennessee did put up a good fight against Alabama when Tua went out.
Tua was out.
Now Alabama will be more prepared with him not being there for this upcoming year's game as opposed to him going out in the middle of the game as well.
Yeah, I think they look better the rest of the way after that.
Yeah, and you get Bama at home. That's going to be one where that week there'll be a lot of talk of, hey, could it happen?
Yeah, Florida and Alabama. If you're all right, let's look Florida, Alabama, Georgia, Oklahoma. Florida and Alabama are here. Are those necessarily automatically your two most likely? If you're going to pull an upset, it would be more likely Florida, Alabama rather than Georgia, Oklahoma?
I still could see Georgia.
Yeah, I'm going to go Georgia.
Later in the season, too. We haven't seen that Georgia game late in the year in a while. So.
And we don't know
Which
what either
I don't
team.
think that helps Tennessee in the least.
It might not.
Well, we don't know. Georgia would probably have more depth. So injuries if they play a role.
Well,
but you don't know who's injured. Or,
Georgia's losing a lot of offense this year, and I think playing them early, you might have had a little bit of,
point.
okay, they
They have a
haven't
new transfer
gelled yet.
quarterback. Would you rather get him early
Early
before
or
he's
late.
gone?
Yeah.
But what if he
point.
gets hurt? So
All right. Well,
Right
see,
around.
that was worth a segment. All right. When we come back, the Knoxville News Sentinel got Tennessee to turn over the actual attendance numbers. And I don't think the actual numbers are even the actual numbers, but we'll discuss those and see what does that tell us about Tennessee schedule, about Tennessee fans, about just common the day of college football now, the era we're living in, if I could say it. We'll discuss all that, and I'll try and phrase it better. Come on back on the Sports Source.